Yo, what up guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be eating a Domino's stuffed crust pizza. And then, once we get a little bit into the food, then we'll just kind of talk about stock market. I bought a new truck recently, so I'll tell you guys all about that. And then we'll kind of look at a few other things, but stay tuned. All right, so let's take a look at this bad boy here. It looks okay. Just to start off, I mean, it's a stuffed crust, so it's going to have a thicker crust. Not a bad thing. It's got the nice cheese, the sausage that I like. I really like the sausage from Domino's. Let's take a bite. I'm so excited to try this, honestly. Look at let's see what this looks like coming out. Oh, just kind of falling apart there. All right, look at the stuffiness of that. Wow, that looks really good. It's so hot right now, but it tastes so good. The cheese on the inside, so delicious. Man. So they took their sweet time with coming out with a stuffed crust pizza, but it looks like they're doing it right because this thing tastes really good. Man, while we keep eating this pizza, let's see what the stock market's doing. Man, this is so good. Not like the stock market, as you can see on your screen there. Stock market is having another bad week, right? We're down still. You can see right there, market's down year to date so far, down big time. Look at the ad in the corner there. New GMC 2025 Sierra 1500 Denali. Wow. Coincidentally, I don't know if I told you guys. I think I did in the intro to the video. I bought me a new truck, so I got me a GMC Sierra 1500, not the Denali. I got just the regular 1500 Sierra. I ended up pulling the trigger on that. It cost about what you think it would cost, a lot of money, and so I'm gonna have to work hard, man, to pay that stuff off. But yeah, it's pretty expensive, but it's a really nice truck, really nice. I really like it. It's like a titanium color. It's got nice spacious inside. It's a really nice truck. Wow. Look at that. Look at that slice, man. Absolutely beautiful. This thing looks absolutely gorgeous. Look at that. That is just, how can you not love that? Anyways, stock market's down. Domino's is actually a stock. Let's compare the stock market to Domino's Pizza, the stock, and see, is Domino's Pizza doing better than the stock market or what? Let's take a look. Well, you look at that. As you can see, the green line there, the green line here is Domino's Pizza. So from January to the end of March, Domino's has been beating the stock market as a whole. What does that really mean, right? Well, the S&P 500, which is the chart I pulled up first, that's 500 of the largest companies in the United States. You take the average of all their prices, and you get that chart that you see right there. Sorry, I keep pointing to my screen, but right there. Now, I also put on top of that the chart of Domino's Pizza stock, just the stock by itself. So one company versus the average of 500 companies, and you see that someone who, and let me just preface this by saying, I'm not telling you guys to buy Domino's Pizza stock. I'm not telling you guys to buy the S&P 500. index or anything like that. I'm not your financial advisor. This is not a financial channel. This is a food eating channel. But someone, the hypothetical person who bought Domino's pizza on January 1st, is right now making more money on their money than if they would have just invested in the S&P 500, because it's down so far. So let's take another bite. This is really delicious. Man, the cheesiness of this thing is so cheesy on the inside. It's like really mushy. And then you can also tell them like to what to butter the crust with. You can do like Parmesan or garlic. There's 2 different seasonings you can put on there. So I'm not sure if this is the garlic or the Parmesan one, but it tastes really good too. The crust is really delicious. Anyways, there's Domino's pizza, the stock. 1 share of that stock will cost you about $447. Is that a lot of money for 1 share? Well, it depends. You know, what has it cost before, right? What is its price relative to where it's been? Year to date, over here on the right here, it's up for the year. What did it start the year at? It started the year at close to $438. It dropped to around $400. So that's kind of what the price has been. So that's kind of relative. Do you think it's at a high price or a low price right now? Also depends on how long you want to invest it for. This chart I'm looking at, 5-year chart, shows what the price would have done if you had bought this stock 5 years ago. So 5 years ago, 2020, you're looking at a price of around $328. And, you know, along the way, you'd have a really rocky, volatile ride. So they call it volatility in the stock market, how fast and how much the stock moves up and down. So, I mean, you can see right there, there's a lot of peaks, a lot of valleys. And so you'll go up to 400, and then you'll drop all the way down to like, what is that, 350. So it's a really, over the last 5 years, it's been really rocky stock. But if you're the kind of person that loves and really believes in Domino's Pizza, you believe that they're gonna beat what is it called? They're gonna beat Pizza Hut. They're gonna beat Papa John's, because those are stocks as well. Then, you know, maybe you're someone that invests in that, right? Is this the right stock for you? Who knows? I'm not your financial advisor, so I'm not telling you to buy it. I'm just eating pizza, which is really delicious, by the way. Man, this is so freaking delicious, man. Now we're looking at a chart of General Motors. I told you I bought a truck recently, 2025 GMC Sierra 1500. Really nice looking truck. Made by General Motors. General Motors also owns Chevy and GMC. So looks like year to date, they're not doing so good. I mean, they're not having the worst year, but they're not doing so good so far year to date. How does that compare to the stock market as a whole? All right, so how's General Motors stock doing compared to the stock market? The 500 average of the 500 biggest companies, and you can see it's not doing so well. So this blue line here is going to be General Motors, the car company. And you can see over here that they are down lower than the stock market. Stock market's in red here. General Motors is in blue. They are down a little bit worse than the stock market. Then that makes sense, right? The stock market's down because a lot of the headlines around tariffs, trade wars, inflation is coming back. Everything's going to get more expensive. Your pizza's going to get more expensive because, you know, maybe the cardboard that we get from China is going to cost more to import, right? So they're going to put tariffs on it. They're going to make it more expensive. And then Domino's is going to have to, either they're going to eat that cost by just, you know, paying out of their own pocket, or they're going to say, you know what, we're going to have to raise the price of pizza from $20 to $30 or $40. So we'll make Johnny Craves pay a higher price for his pizza every time he wants to buy pizza. So that's how tariffs and inflation can start affecting us here with the prices. And what I'm getting at is that General Motors would be one of the biggest companies hit by that, because a lot of the parts that go into the GMC Sierra or the Chevy Silverado, a lot of those parts are made in Canada, are made in Mexico, and they're brought back to the United States for final assembly, right? So even though the truck itself is made here in the US, the parts that are in the truck are assembled in Canada and Mexico, and those are the main those are the main countries that Trump wants to tariff at this time. Now we are coming up on what's called Liberation Day, so apparently April 3rd there's going to be tariffs put on autos that I guess made in other countries, not in the U.S. Would that affect GM? It doesn't seem like it, right? Because I think their trucks and cars are being put together here in the U.S. Now, don't hold me to that, but I'm pretty sure most of their trucks and cars are made here in the U.S. There's another day coming up, and that's going to be April 3rd, what's called Liberation Day. Tariffs on the autos. We'll see if Trump doesn't change his mind on that. But there's another day, May 3rd, where there's going to be tariffs on the auto parts. Now, I think that's the one, in theory, that would affect GM. Maybe their stock price falls a little bit more. Or maybe it fell already, knowing that May 3rd is coming. But anyways, that's when auto parts, not autos, auto parts. So that's when that whole, the engine's made in Mexico, got to bring it back into the United States. That's where those tariffs would start to get levied on them. So, a lot of things coming up. Who knows if these tariffs are even going to stick? Maybe Trump changes his mind. I wanted to address a comment I saw in another video. I'm not politically in favor of any party or another. In fact, politicians really, really annoy me. I'm really anti-political, so I don't favor any party or anything. So I just kind of stick to the stock market stuff because, the stock market's going to move regardless of who the president is. Yes, they can affect it, but it's going to move regardless. So, I'm just not a political person. Okay. So, I didn't buy the truck because of this auto tariff stuff coming up. I bought the truck because I need a new car. My car has been around for like 17 years. It's got a lot of miles on it, and is just kind of like, I'm driving on the highway, and my steering wheel is like shaking when I'm braking, and took it to the mechanic a few times to fix it. That problem hasn't got fixed, and it's to the point where I don't even feel safe driving on the road with it. So I'm like, let me just get a new, bigger, reliable vehicle. If you'd like to see me talk about what it is going to cost me to own this new truck, I can talk about that in my next video. If not, I really won't cover it, but it's going to cost a lot. All right. So what you think prices are for trucks and how much it's going to cost per month with interest rates and all that, it is that bad. So the Fed recently said they're going to keep the rates the same, which, it sounds like rates are just going to stay the same. So if high rates right now are going to stay, if you go and buy a car, you're going to pay a high rate. If you go and buy a house, you're going to pay a high interest rate. It's going to make your monthly payments higher. And then don't get me started on insurance. That is astronomically stupid how much insurance companies are charging these days, man. It is stupid. But thankfully, God has blessed me and I'm able to provide. I'm able to do what I love doing and provide for my family. So hopefully we keep it going. So delicious, man. You guys know Ford, right? Ford makes the trucks. Well, there's a story that says that, they're expected to cut their dividend after the tariffs take effect. So after the tariffs take effect, which is like the taxes on bringing the parts here or bringing the cars here, then Ford, they got a few options, right? They can raise the prices of their trucks to where me and you have to pay more for the truck. They can just eat the cost and don't raise prices. They'll just pay more for the parts and keep the prices the same, which would really hurt them because they're already kind of, these car companies are struggling as it is. Another thing they can do, as mentioned, I had a coughing attack there. I just, like, something went down there and I was choking. My goodness. Anyways, Ford, another thing they can do is they can cut their dividend. What is a dividend? A dividend, when you buy one share of stock of Ford, not all companies do this, but some companies pay you dividends. They pay you a little bit of money every 3 months just because you own their stock. It's like a way of them saying, thank you for buying our stock. We're going to give you 50 cents every 3 months. You know, if you own like $1 million of that, well, 50 cents on $1 million, that adds up to a lot of money every 3 months. So you can see how like rich people buy stocks and get the dividends. But anyway, Ford pays dividends, and if they were to get hit extremely by tariffs, then instead of raising prices on the trucks for like me and you to buy the truck, instead of them raising the prices, well, maybe they'll just stop paying the dividend or lower it that way, because when they pay the dividend to investors, well, that's money coming out of Ford's pocket. So money's leaving the company and going to investors. So in order to maybe eat the cost of the tariffs, they'll just stop paying the dividends. They'll save themselves some money there, and then they won't have to raise prices. But, you know, all of this is kind of evolving. Who knows what they're going to be doing. But let me take a few more bites of this because this thing looks absolutely beautiful. All right, guys. Well, that was it for today's video. Overall, I really liked Domino's stuffed crust pizza. Tastes really good. I do recommend you go buy that. If you guys liked the video, found some value in there, maybe you learned something you didn't know before, don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, leave a comment down below, and then we will see you in the next one. You guys take care.